will get started. Welcome to the September 9th, 2025 Salinas Finance Committee meeting. I'm going to call it to order. Zoom webinar participation is available for members of the public. The Zoom webinar ID and link are available on the posted agenda and on the city website. And we are going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Join me.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Just for grins, why don't we call the roll, even though we know the answer?
Councilmember Diarigo.
Present.
Councilmember De La Rosa.
Present.
Mayor Donahue.
I am here, but you knew that. All right. Let's see if there's anybody in the public. If you wish to make a general public comment, though I think I'm reading to ourselves on a specific item, you are encouraged to attend the Finance Committee and do so. So we're just going to go ahead and open up for public comment. Anyone here from the public? See nobody. We'll see if anyone is Zooming. No Zoomers. With that, Abe, whatever if you need to check up on us, feel free. With the Levin Act.
Yeah, California Government Code 84308, Levine Act. Do any members of the committee have any campaign contributions to disclose related to any items on today's agenda? Councilmember Diarigo?
No.
Councilmember De La Rosa?
No.
Mayor Donahue.
Nope. All right, thank you. All right, we will now move on to the consent agenda. The minutes, which is ID 25-379, the minutes of August 12th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a second.
Second.
All right, let's tee that one up.
Councilmember Diarigo?
Aye.
Councilmember De La Rosa?
Aye.
Mayor Donahue?
Yep.
Motion passes.
All right, very good. All right, we have a consideration item, and we're going to talk residential sewer payment assistance program. And I think we're looking for, we have found her. Hi, Adriana.
Hello. Good afternoon, Mayor and council members or committee members. Yes, today we're here to speak to you about residential sewer payment assistance program. Oh, you ready? Okay, 1 second. Technical difficulties.
2 minutes, we're counting now.
Okay, I think we're ready. All right, thanks, Abe. Okay, so we're here to talk about the residential sewer assistance program, payment program. And just to give you a quick summary of how we got here, we're going to go all the way back to May of 2023 when the City Council adopted the sanitary sewer master plan update. Then in September 2024, we updated the sewer impact fee. And then later on, or better yet, earlier that year, we actually began the study for the sewer rate study. And the sewer rate study is what provides all the information for the proposed sewer increase that we're proposing for September 23rd. And in those months between March and April 2025, we came before you, we gave multiple presentations to the Finance Committee, to the City Council regarding the sewer rate study and the rate schedule. And what we heard both from you, from the public, from City Council, through those presentations was the need for a payment assistance program. And so that's why we're here today. So what we're proposing, well, I guess before we get to what we're proposing, is we looked at, in order to develop the payment assistance program, we looked at multiple jurisdictions and what they did with regards to their sewer fees. And what we found was, for the most part, a lot of jurisdictions do provide some sort of assistance. In the case of, say, City of Gilroy, at the bottom there is no assistance for sewer because they only provide assistance for water. So theirs is a combined bill, but they specifically say that they don't provide assistance for the sewer. But other jurisdictions, their assistance ranged from between 15 to 50% of the bill. Most of them were billed monthly. As you know, ours is aligned with Monterey One Water, which bills bi-monthly. And what we did find was that our fees are actually pretty low compared to everybody else, even our proposed fees. And what this means, what you're seeing on this table, is that the way a lot of jurisdictions work is they charge a base rate, and then on top of that, they will charge either a volume or a flow, which ends up being the same thing. So they will, and others, if you look at Morgan Hill, they'll even charge you if you're part of a sewer system that has a pump station. There's an additional charge to that for maintenance of those pump stations. But yeah, this is what we found. We found that there are programs out there that programs range, like I said, between 15 to 50% of the bill is what the assistance program provides. And what we're proposing is 20%. So 20% out of your entire annual bill. So we take your bi-monthly, we multiply that by 6, and then we take 20% of that. And that's what we're proposing. So what that would mean is we did look at multiple options. Everything, like I said, everything between 15 and 50%, and what that would mean. And what we wanted was really, with the budget that we have, how can we reach almost like a greater or an ultimate, a good number when it comes to the assistance, right? We can either provide a lot of assistance to very few people or some assistance to more people. And so where we landed was at 20%. So using this 20%, we would basically be able to assist 3,822 customers. What this means, again, is, it all translates back to how many people need assistance. We have been researching this according to PG&E, and we are suggesting that we go with the PG&E Care program. According to PG&E, their program currently has over 20,000 Salinas customers within the program. So obviously it's very infeasible for us to be able to provide assistance to 20,000 of the customers. But this, begins that conversation of where we can provide some assistance to basically 3,800 of the customers. So the way that we're proposing to structure the program is basically it'll be minimum requirements, right? Provide an application, and then just prove to us that you're part of the CARE program. The CARE program has pre-established low-income thresholds, and so basically that's what we're saying. If you qualify for CARE, then you qualify for our program. And the application will basically be available, will identify whether you're a property owner or whether you're a tenant. A lot of what we found and the concern we heard with regards to Monterey One's program, assistance program, is basically they will only provide assistance to single-family residents or to condo owners. So this doesn't apply to anyone who lives in a multifamily unit. Multifamily, in their definition, also includes mobile home parks. It also includes apartments. It includes other types of, residential units, which may house people that need this assistance, but it doesn't include them. So what we're proposing is let's go ahead, and if you can prove that you live in Salinas and that you participate in this program, then that would qualify you for assistance, unless, of course, you already participate in the city's, it's the Affordable Income and Rent Limits Program, and that program already gives you a voucher for your utilities, and it does include sewer as part of the program. So those people that participate in that program are already receiving financial assistance from the city to pay their sewer bill. So that is the program as we have it outlined, and I'm open for any questions.
Okay, thank you. All right, any questions? Margaret?
Okay, so if we can go back to the first slide that showed the different percentages, that one, yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry, maybe it's the second slide. That's the one. Yes, thank you. I'm wondering because you said that there's 20,000 people in the PG&E Care program.
Correct.
We're talking about, and that they have to qualify for that before they can apply for this. So based on this 3822, there's still going to be another 16,000 that we're unable to assist, even if they qualify, correct?
Correct, unless if they're already participating in this
In the other one.
in the other assistance program that the city provides.
And do we have any idea what that number looks like in the city voucher system?
No, we don't.
I'm
Not
sure
at
it's
this
probably
time.
thousands.
I would imagine.
Okay, so I'm wondering what your rationale was going between the 15% versus the 20%, knowing that we could serve another, 18 or 1,200 people.
Well, the rationale really is we wanted to get to the point where you could provide more assistance to more people versus, if we go 50%, then we're only able to assist 1,500 people.
Correct, but if you go to 15%, we would be able to go to
Correct.
5,096. But you're recommending that we don't do that and we
20%.
go 20%.
Correct.
I was just wondering what the rationale was between those two numbers.
It was just, it's an annual assistance of just under $40 versus $30.
Mm-hmm.
So we could go either way on that one. It's really not. We just thought 20% seemed to make more sense.
Okay, yeah, I think I would be more inclined to trying to serve a few more.
Okay.
At the 15%, but I'll leave that to my colleagues to hear their opinions. And then my last question was, I noticed that we were the only Monterey County city that was in the list of cities that we drew data from.
Provide assistance.
Yeah.
We were not able to find much information on some of the other cities from Monterey County.
So we're assuming maybe they don't have a sewer assistance program at all?
Most, if I may, a lot of cities do not. So if you look at, and then we really don't have a really good comparable city to Salinas in the county, as you know,
Size-wise,
size-wise and
Okay.
structure-wise. And so that was part of the other challenge. And I think what the
Correct.
team did looked at like the Gilroys and the Venturas and stuff that have kind of look a lot more like us
Yeah.
in what they're doing. I think because the scale is a lot different too. and the demographics, we tend to have, obviously with a lot more population, our volume of folks that would need assistance is a lot significantly higher. So I think that's the challenge. Now, other cities might do some of the other, like the PG&E sort of program, but that's, again, energy is just more expensive.
Sure.
And that's part of the variable there.
Okay, thank you.
Gloria?
Adriana, mine are more comments. I don't have a question, but I have comments. Can I do?
No, it's fine.
Okay, Adriana, good job. Good job to the whole team. And I think you've done a good job bringing this back to us. And, you know, really, I think this is great. We're going to be able to help the people that are in the care program, like you said. And I think you've done a great job with this.
Thank you.
And that we want to help our residents that need the help. Thank you.
Thank you.
A couple things before getting into percentages and kind of questions that, you know, and I think, Margaret, your points are well taken. I mean, the big variable is, you know, we've jumped from 564 to 16, whatever, whereas I think we've all got energy bills at home where we kind of scratch our head and go, how did it go up a couple $100 this month? So the variability is, I think, more significant. But so basically, we're adopting a platform approach in terms of this. These will provide the guidelines in terms of how we qualify people. But we're going to absorb the in-house, the administration of the program in-house.
Correct.
And my guess is this is not going to be the only conversation we have with fees along the way. So I have a sneaky suspicion we're kind of setting up the mechanics for other things to come, because I think the one thing that's become really clear in the last several months, particularly whether it's low income or fixed income, you know, any change, you know, a lot of folks, you know, I might view it as annoying, more so because my wife chased after me because somebody did, you know, like, who did this? As opposed, but it's going to get paid. But for other folks, this is much more of a struggle, and I think we need to be sensitive to that. And my sense is we're kind of setting up the mechanics for more of these. The question I would have, you know, the big thing is we want to get out of harm's way with the bondholders and make sure we're not dipping into the general fund. So I think, to Margaret's point, and you all can kind of massage it, you know, we want to get out of harm's way, help as many people as we can, and but we don't also want to be heading down the road of, you know, costs coming up that 5 years from now, here we go again. So whatever that package looks like, in terms of target percentages, we need to understand that. And then I think, I think this just kind of wraps into the conversation of assistance that we're going to have to begin to absorb administratively. Am I basically reading that? I mean, the direction or the thoughts I would have, hopefully I've stated that fairly clearly, but the question I would have is, you know, how long will it take to kind of wrap this into administratively so we're able to execute?
Celine Andrews, Finance Director. Just so I'm understanding, the question is, administratively, how long will it take for this program to go into effect?
Right.
So we are, as you mentioned, we are absorbing the cost initially. There is quite a work, as we've learned through the process that needs to go into it, as well as annual renewals, so something similar to business licenses, and we are prepared to do that. I think the timeline that Adriana provided is pretty accurate and is feasible, and that's what we're going to work towards. What was the implementation period?
So it would be November, the implementation.
So it'd be a quick turnaround, but a lot of the work is being done internally. The communication will happen of course, as a team, but we're going to be ready to take on these applications and review them. We've also developed a program, or are in the process of developing a program that we can easily review and verify as much as possible.
And I think if I can add to that, as you're considering direction, is when you look at the future year. So what the team did really well on this page 3 of your staff report is an estimate of how many people we would serve first year, 3,822 at the $16.35 rate. And then maybe we'll have more people that qualify that we can't do. Maybe we have less. We don't know that yet. When you go to 26, 27, at the 1668 rate, we're serving less people, 3747. So I think one of the things, more, Councilmember Diarruga, to your point, as far as 15 or 20 or 25%, I think after the first year, we'll have a better sense of what we have here, and if we have to adjust next year. So for example, the following year, in order to service the 3822, we might have to do 15 or something, or we just go to the council and say, hey, we need to set aside $200,000 to account. So I think part of it is we're going to learn after the first year exactly, is 3,800 a right number, or is it 7,000 people that qualify? We only had enough for 3822. So I think that's also part of the staff's trying to sort of balance that out based on what we think we have. But a lot of it is also just an educated estimate. I don't want to use the word guess, but an estimated estimate on what we think is there. So I think next year we'll be better informed to have this conversation with the council, because now we'll know, hey, this is how many people we serve with 150,000. And so then and we can say next year, then we might have to adjust it. So I think that's also part of the balancing act that we're trying to do with this. Something that's reasonable, a little bit meaningful, but we'll know better for next year.
Thank you. And just to add to that, there was a question about how we derive to the 20%. So everything we're showing here is not where everybody started. Agencies, there was a lot of research done by the team here, and agencies started at a lower percentage, and they adjusted their program as needed. So 20% is what's recommended today, but it can be adjusted, and it probably should be adjusted going forward, depending on the need. We don't know what the applicants look like right now. We don't know how many we're going to get, so we will have to, at some point, adjust.
Gloria? And then Margaret?
The good thing is, you're saying we can adjust this. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret?
My only, I'm playing devil's advocate here, but my only thought is that it's easier to increase a percentage than to take away. How people react to takeaways. What used to be 20%, now it's 15, and that might reflect negatively versus starting it at 15 and moving up gradually to accommodate the numbers that we'll have a year from now.
That's a very good point.
Thank you. I hope you could hear me. I was not on mic.
You're closest
So,
to us, so we heard you.
Okay. Sorry for the Zoomers if they couldn't hear me.
All right. What action do we need to take? Is it,
Go ahead.
Yes. So today, what we're asking is that you recommend to the City Council approval of a resolution establishing the City of Salinas Residential Sewer Payment Assistance Program.
all right, is there a motion to do that?
Okay. So if we want to go to 15%, we could do that. Okay,
Okay.
Madam? We can do that.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna make a recommendation that we approve the resolution establishing the City of Salinas Residential Sewer Payment Assistance Program at 15% for year one with possible adjustments in the future.
Second.
All right, let's call for the question.
I think, do we have to go out for comment? I mean, we don't have any, but.
Okay, anyone here?
No.
All right. Well, you know what? Apparently, we're on our own.
We got it.
See how it works out. All right, call for the question.
Councilmember Diorigo,
Aye.
Councilmember De La Rosa,
Aye.
and Mayor Donahue. Motion
All
passed.
right, let's do it. All right. With that, do we have any future agenda items that we need to give everyone a heads up on? Okay, we will be back October 7th. We're adjourned.